Hi, and thank you so much for joining me here today. Welcome back to all of my friends and family. My name is Diane, and today we're going to be making two side dishes that would be great for either Thanksgiving or Christmas. We're going to be making potato salad and some cranberry sauce. That's right, you heard it, potato salad and cranberry sauce. You're getting two recipes in one video today. So I'm just doing my potatoes here for my potato salad. Very simple but delicious and nice and creamy potato salad that we're going to be making here today. I've already started with my potatoes. All you're going to do is just wash your potato skins. That's what I've already done. And then we're just going to be peeling our potatoes and preparing them. And I have actually bought out my oldie but goodie chopper here. I've had this one for so many years. I can't even remember how long I've had this. Doubt if they even make them anymore. But this is the size chopping blade that it has in it. So there's very big slots, and that's the size I want to cut my potatoes with. So I'm going to continue cutting these potatoes, and we'll be right back. I got my water boiling. Okay, so my water has come to a boil. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to the water. So next we're going to add our potatoes. We're going to keep our water at a nice roaring boil. So we're going to add our potatoes. We got clean hands. Be careful, the water's hot. So add our potatoes in here. And remember what I said about potatoes and cooking for the holiday. You can cook these, cut these potatoes up a day ahead of time. Save you some time if you're gonna be making Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner by yourself. Go ahead and cut those potatoes up. As long as you got them completely covered in cold water, just leave them out in your counter for the next day and they will be absolutely fine. All right, so we got our potatoes in there. Give that a good stir with the salt in there. All right, so next we're going to add eggs. And mark my word when I tell you that this is the main attraction. So we're going to add our eggs right over into it. I know a lot of people want to boil them separately, but there is absolutely no reason to do that. Just make sure that they're not cracked. And if they crack while cooking, that is absolutely fine. I've had that to happen so many times that it's absolutely fine. Okay, so I know you're probably wondering, how many eggs she putting in there? So normally for Christmas and Thanksgiving, if I make the potato salad, or even if my mom makes it, which she is the best potato salad maker, I think, in the whole world, I generally shoot to add 6 eggs to my potato salad. This is going to help with the taste and the creaminess of the potato salad. So by all means, don't slack on this step of having the eggs in there. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 7. I've got 7 eggs. I'm going to use an egg for the top. I didn't make as many potatoes as I normally do, because normally, like I say, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, if I'm doing it, I'm shooting to make anywhere between 5 to 10 pounds of potato salad. And so I shoot to have more eggs in it. So even with this small amount, I think I probably used about 8 or 9 potatoes, probably 8. I didn't really count them. Like I said, I'm trying to get these measurements out to you so you'll know exactly what to do. But still, you want to have the eggs in there. And so we're going to cover this up. Now you want to make sure that you watch your potatoes. And I'm just going to turn mine down on maybe about a 6. It should take about 15 to 20 minutes You don't want them to be smushy. Now, I know a lot of people do like to have like potato salad and they just make it like cream potatoes. I don't like that. I like to have nice hunks along with some cream in the my potato salad. So we don't want them to cook until they're just absolutely smushy. If in fact you get to that point to where they have gotten too soft, then just drain all the water out of it and let them completely cool. Set them in the refrigerator to firm up, and then you can proceed in putting in your ingredients and they won't fall apart as much. So that's a little safe in case you cook them for way too long. But we're going to keep an eye on these and they're going to come out and they're going to be perfect. All righty. Next, while our potatoes and eggs are cooking and getting nice and tender and eggs are getting completely done, we're going to start on cutting up our celery and our onion. So I'm just going to start cutting it. I got 2 stalks here, which is kind of generally what I use when I'm making my big batch potato salad, but I'm certainly not going to use 2 stalks to make this. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of this chopped. Let me show you real quick. I got my itty bitty sized chopping blade in here to make itty bitty sized chops. So I'm going to get this going and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've got all of my celery chopped up, nice and small size that I like to have in mine, and that's a fair amount. I may and I may not use it all. Like I said, we love celery, so we'll just see. So then you got your celery and then you have onion. So I don't put a massive amount of onion in it. I'm just going to slice this up, and we will start to chop this as well. So this is about a half of an onion that I'm putting in here. And I do want to say about the celery, you can use celery seed if you don't have fresh celery. I've used celery seed plenty of times. So don't worry if you don't have fresh. I'm just going to look at my onion. I think I'm going to go ahead and put just a few more pieces in there. So don't worry if you don't have fresh celery. That's absolutely fine. Just use the celery seed. That's absolutely perfect. All right, absolutely. This is great. All right, so if you watch your potatoes, if they start to boil over, sometimes they will, just turn your stove down. That's all you got to do. There we go, right there. Let me see if I can get that in there so you can see it. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to set this to the side. We're done with our chopping. So I had to get my other chopper out because the small blade that I had on my big chopper that I've had for years, the blades got dull. I couldn't find any replacements. So that's why I had to buy another chopper. But I love this one because of its size. And I just love it. Okay, our potatoes are completely done. I'm going to drain them and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've drained my potatoes and I've got some ice water right here. Taking my eggs out, and we're going to just let them sit in this ice water for a little bit. And then we're going to take the shells off. I know there's no rhyme or reason as to how you take the shells off. I've tried them all kinds of ways, shaking them in the glass with ice, doing the ice water, just letting them cool completely and cracking them. However way you use it, you do it, you do you, because it's a little difficult sometimes. All right, so now that I've drained my potatoes, I'm going to show them to you. Okay. I left a little bit of water in the bottom, a little bit of potato water in the bottom, because that's going to be useful to you in making sure you have some really creamy potato salad. I don't like a stiff potato salad. I don't like my potato salad too runny. So I've left a little bit of water. If you don't know how to gauge it, just when you drain your potatoes out of the water, just get a bowl and pour it all in the bowl first. And then you can add the potato water back into it to get it to the consistency that you want, because as it sets in the refrigerator and cools and cools and cools, what's going to happen is it's going to stiffen up and it's going to thicken up, and you don't want it too thick. Sometimes I've tasted potato salad, it was almost like it was dry, but you want a nice creamy potato salad. So while the potatoes are hot, we're going to add in our onions and our celery, okay? While it's nice and hot. And I can see now from adding this in that I'm definitely not going to need all of this, but that's okay. I can put it in a Ziploc bag and we can use it for something else. Can't tell until after you've mixed everything together and tasted it, whether you've got enough onion to your liking, enough celery to your liking. You can add more into it at the end, so don't worry about that. I just do this as a way of kind of softening up these onions and celery, because the heat will kind of, soften them and wilt them down a little bit. Well, not wilt, but it will soften them. So we got our eggs going. We got that in there. Now we're going to put in a little pepper. Now, I will not add salt until the end, because remember we had a little bit of salt. And I mean, when I say a little bit, I mean not even a whole teaspoon of salt. So I just sprinkled a little bit of salt in it. So we got our pepper in there, we got our onion, we got our celery. Then we're going to let these potatoes sit and continue to cool. We're going to let our eggs do their things, okay? We're going to drain them in just a few minutes. I'm going to de-shell them, and then I'll be back. Oh, and I almost forgot, so I had to back up. Tell you, it's kind of hard to video and think about what you're supposed to be doing. Pickle. So I have sweet cubed pickles, and so be careful. Do not get a relish, and don't get the dill pickle unless you want dill pickle in your potato salad. But again, while the potatoes are hot, I'll go ahead and put my pickles in. You put in according to however much you like. That's probably about a half of a cup. Remember, you can always add more. All right, so we're going to continue to let our potatoes cool, and I'm going to work on these eggs. Okay, so we're still waiting on our potatoes to cool some more. So while we're waiting on that, we're going to start with our eggs, and we're going to chop our eggs. I want you to see how lovely these are in the center. Beautiful. These are extra large eggs, and I'm just going to add them in my chopper. I'm going to get those chopped. Now you don't have to. Certainly before I ever had a chopper, what I would do is I would just take the egg, cut it in half, put it in a bowl, and I would just go ahead and use a fork and just chop it till I got it to the desired consistency of egg that I wanted. So you don't have to have a chopper, just use what you got, okay? All right, so I've got 2 eggs left, and those are going to be for decoration. All right, so here's all the egg that I got, and so beautiful. Just look at that. So we're going to just put those eggs right over in there. As you can tell, this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful potato salad. Now, some people like mustard-based potato salad. I love a mayonnaise-based potato salad. So my mom uses Duke's, and I use Duke's sometimes, but preferably I do use this brand. Just want to put that out there. Now, I have used store brand, and it was fine, but I prefer the taste of this. So I do put a little bit of mustard in my potato salad, but we were born and raised with a mayonnaise-based potato salad. So it just depends on how you were, what you're used to, what you're accustomed to. So I put in maybe a teaspoon full of mustard, and that's just going to give it an extra layer of flavor. And then for my potato salad, again, I do not measure. Been doing this for quite a while, and so I kind of know the consistency of what I want. I had to say that's about a cup. You're going to need more. And then next, we're going to put in about a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons of sugar. You don't have to. You can leave it off. But I find it kind of does kind of waken up the flavor even more. So I do add the sugar to mine. So we've got all of our ingredients in there so far, except for the last little bit of salt that we need to put in there to kind of wake up the flavor even more. And we're going to begin the stirring process. Stirring our potatoes. And I can already tell that it's going to need more mayonnaise because of how it's stirring. So I'm going to the bottom and I'm getting that extra potato water that was staying down. Let me go ahead and get some more mayonnaise in here. And as I'm stirring it, I know you're probably saying, that's a lot of mayonnaise. Well, it takes a lot of mayonnaise to make a good potato salad, okay? And if you need to add some more liquid, then that's fine. Add your liquid. Turn the bowl as you're stirring, okay? And I don't want you to be dismayed by how it looks right now, as far as you might think it's too soupy. Trust me, when you set it in that refrigerator, and it's better the second day. So you want to always try to strive to make that potato salad a day ahead of when you plan to eat it. Okay? And this is perfect. This, y'all, this is exactly where I want my potato salad to be at. This consistency. Like that. Because it's going to stiffen up. Alright, that looks good. We got nice big, let's see if I can, chunks of potatoes. We're going to give it a taste test. And I'm just tasting the sauce. And we're going to add salt. This is this kosher salt that I'm using. You can use whatever salt you're accustomed to, whatever salt you want. We're going to give it a stir. And you just always want to come from the bottom. Try not to disturb the potatoes as much as possible. Now I'm just looking to see if I feel like I got enough pickle in there. I don't want it overrun with pickle. Okay, that's looking good. And I think that's exactly where I want it at. Now for storage, after my potato salad is done, I just pour it over into this 9.6 cup container. Perfect. Now we'll set this aside for a minute. And we're going to do our decoration with the slice of egg that was going to go. So I have an attachment to slice eggs. Put that in place. And we're just going to take our egg and set it in here. And just very carefully slice it. I think I have it back far enough. That's okay. I didn't have it back far enough. Let me try the other one. It's a large egg. Extra large. Okay, very good. That works. We want all of this. I'll just stick it over in there. And then for decoration, we're going to just take our egg and kind of spread it over top of our potato salad. Then after you got your eggs in there, you're going to go in and clean up the side of your bowl. Next, we're going to sprinkle with paprika. Take my paprika. I'm going to sprinkle right on top. And then we're going to go in with a little bit of pepper. Here's the top that just goes right on top of it. And we're going to set this in our refrigerator and let it completely congeal together. I'll plate it up and show you how it looks after it has set. Don't place it on the bottom shelf because the bottom shelf is the coolest part of your refrigerator. So I normally place mine on the second or the third shelf. Alrighty, so now we're going to move on to our second side, which is the cranberry sauce. Oh, I love it. So easy peasy, you can do this in no time at all. So I have an orange, and what I'm doing is just rolling it a little bit to release the juice. And the first thing I'm going to do, because I want a little bit of the peeling to be as decoration on top of it, is I'm just going to grate this over in just a little bit of sugar, which is probably about a half of a teaspoon of sugar, if that. Be careful not to get the white part of that orange peeling over into it, because it's going to be so bitter. And this is why we're going to be coating it in sugar. And you don't need very much. Oh, that smells so good right there. And we will kind of infuse a little bit of this over into the cranberry sauce also as it cooks. So we want to use as much of that as we can. Just want to stir that in really good. All right, that looks good. And that's going to be for sprinkling on top of our cranberry sauce, and we're going to put just a little bit over in it while it's cooking also. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to juice one orange. This is all you need, is one orange. And we're going to juice that. I'll light that off. Okay, let's set some of this over here. And by rolling it, hopefully that will help to express some of that juice, okay? Or more of that juice, I should say. And the other half, I'm not going to throw away any of this. I'm going to just stick it right over in there and let it boil along with the cranberries. All right, so we got that done. Because this is going to go pretty quick, and this is how it should look. You got everything all out of there. Yeah, that's a fair amount of juice. Some recipes will call for a cup of orange juice, but I like the fresh orange. So what you're going to need is a 12-ounce bag of cranberries, fresh cranberries, because we're making ours from scratch. It's not the real deal. And we're going to clean them in the same pan that we're going to cook them in. So in case you've never had real cranberries, this is what they look like. And, whoops, I left some in the bag. All of them in there. So sometimes you need to look through them and make sure that there's not any wilted or rotten ones in it. And I found one. I think they look good. So I'm going to take them over to the sink. I'm going to wash them really good and drain them. And then I'm going to pour them into a column to let them drain. All right, next, while my cranberries are draining, I'm going to add 1 cup of water to my pot. I got my stove up on high right now because we want to bring our water and our sugar to a boil. And then to that 1 cup of water, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. We're going to let this come to a boil. Let's go ahead and get it started to stirring. And we're going to let it come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to come back. And I'm going to get up and personal and close up on this so you can see what's happening. Okay, as you can see, our sugar and our water have come to a boil. So now we're going to add our cranberries, which we have washed and drained. Going to add them right in there, and because they have cooled our water and sugar down, we're going to bring this to another boil. So we want it to come to a boil again. So now it's come to a boil again, and they're popping because they're going to pop open. They do smell good, y'all. We're going to turn it down so we get a gentle boil. Then I'm going to add in a little bit of that orange zest and stir that in there. We're going to set our timer for 10 minutes and let it gently boil. Now this is not a simmer, it's still got to be boiling, y'all. So we're going to let it gently boil for 10 minutes. Go ahead and set your timer. Okay, so we're at about the halfway mark, at about 5. We're just going to give it a quick stir and let it continue to gently boil. Okay. All right, we're going to give it another stir. So you just want to stir it occasionally. You don't have to stand over and stir. Just make sure you got that timer set, please, sweetie. 10 minutes is all it's going to take. All right, let this continue. We're at about the 3-minute mark here. Okay, so I got about 2 minutes left. I'm going to dump that orange that was left from when I zested it. Dump that over in there. Just give it a good stirring. And then I'm going to slowly pour in my juice from my orange. I'm gonna let it finish up. I'm going here and scrape my pan down. And there's our timer, folks. We're gonna turn off our pot. We're going to stir it one more time. We're going to take it off the heat, and we're going to cover it, and we're going to let it completely cool covered. Let me show you what it looks like. Don't be concerned that it's still loose, but this is what it's looking like right now, and it smells good, y'all. All right, so we're going to just take it off the heat and let it cool. Once it cools, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what it looks like. All right, here's our cranberry sauce. It's completely cooled. We're going to put it in a container and let it set in the refrigerator and congeal some more. I kind of like mine like this. It will thicken up even more as it sets in the refrigerator. So we're just going to put this in here. Now, I will tell you that if you want it to be more jelly-like, all you have to do is to cut back on the amount of water that you put in it. So, the exact measurement should be 1 cup of liquid to 1 cup of sugar. And then, of course, you're going to add your cranberries. So, what you're going to do is, in order to make that 1 cup of liquid, is you're going to squeeze your orange juice, add it to your measuring cup, and then add water till you get to 1 cup. And then it'll be more of a jelly-like cranberry sauce. But as I said, as this sits in the refrigerator, it's going to thicken up and gel quite a bit. So we're going to put it in the fridge. I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, everyone, it's the next day, and we've let our potato salad and our cranberry sauce set overnight, and I'm just going to scoop some out so you can see how it is. First, our cranberry relish smells really good, and see how it thickened up. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the plate so you can see it. Remember to just, if you just stick with the 1 cup ratio, it'll be more of a thicker consistency, but I like this way. It's a little bit looser. And then our potato salad. Yum, yum, yum. Let's see if we can get an egg on top of that. There we go. And there it is. I'm going to show you close up. Thank you for watching to the end. Be blessed, and I'll see you real soon.